Hey, nobody's perfect. Welcome to WatchMojoUK, and today we're counting down our picks for the top 10 awkward Holly Willoughby moments. Before we begin, we publish new content every day, so be sure to subscribe to our channel and ring the bell to get notified about our latest videos. For this list, we're taking a look at some of Holly Willoughby's worst on-air flubs. From accidental innuendos to straight-up gaffes. We're diving deep into her most awkward TV moments. Number 10, when she wore a French Maid costume on a kids show. Holly and Stephen's Saturday Showdown. In TV, you gotta start somewhere. And this is where it all started for Holly. The children's show, Ministry of Mayhem.
It is Polly with the Jolly.
She was so popular that the title was eventually changed to Holly and Stephen's Saturday Showdown. For the most part, Willoughby's role was fairly standard for Saturday morning programs aimed at younger audiences. But then there was this recurring feature in which she dressed up as a French maid and threw cake at guests.
Let's have a look at this cake. Have you got it a name? Because I have. If you're so rude to bring your own cakes in, I'm going to pop it on your head.
Given the context, watching her suck her finger and the camera panning up her legs is about as awkward as it gets. This was supposed to be a kids show.
Look, you've got him in tears now. I am going to get you.
Number 9, when she said mouthful of beef. This morning. Holly Willoughby has a habit of saying the wrong thing at the wrong time, much to the delight of viewers and Phil Schofield. Take for instance the time they had a chef visit them on the set of This Morning.
You're eating it with your main course fork.
All goes down the same way.
The trio were having a splendid time tasting a scrumptious looking pie. However, as Willoughby went to take a bite, she made this quip.
I've still got a mouthful of beef.
It was more than enough to draw laughter from Schofield and the rest of the crew. Soon Willoughby was laughing as well, and as any fan of This Morning will tell you, once these two start laughing, it can be quite difficult to get them to stop.
Phil, thank you very much. Pleasure.
Number 8, when she was a little tipsy. Celebrity Juice. You'd be hard-pressed to find a panel show raunchier than this one. Holly Willoughby has been a team captain on Celebrity Juice since its inception and provided viewers with plenty of memorable moments.
Ben Shepherd loves dressing as a woman and goes dogging.
However, the time she got a little tipsy before a show added some extra entertainment value. Host Keith Lemon is the first to point out that Willoughby has had a couple of drinks, referring to her as Holly Willoughboozy. She later admits that she's a little drunk after getting confused about which camera she's meant to be looking at.
Do a split screen. Down camera 2, Holly. I know you're pissed.
I'm a little bit drunk.
It certainly doesn't help that she dressed up as Harley Quinn. Or does it?
Why don't you dress like that on This Morning? Philip Schofield have a f***ing heart attack.
Number 7, her X Factor audition. The Extra Factor. From 2008 to 2009, Holly Willoughby served as a presenter on ITV2's The Extra Factor, a show that gave fans a behind-the-scene glimpse into the lives of X Factor contestants. During one episode, Willoughby decided to try her hand at singing, performing a mock audition for Simon Cowell, Cheryl, Louis Walsh, and Danny Minogue.
And hoping to make her dream come true is 28-year-old mother of one. Yes, it's me!
Whether or not the skit makes you chuckle, listening to that awful singing voice is still pretty cringy.
I found myself, I don't wanna be.
Sure, it was intentionally bad, but it's still a lot like listening to nails on a chalkboard. Just make it stop. On the bright side, at least she suddenly got a whole lot better.
All by myself anymore.
Number 6, when she said Welly Wagging. This morning. For those who may not know, Welly Wagging is a game that requires players to toss a Wellington boot as far as they can. Well, back in 2015, Holly Willoughby and guest host Ben Shepherd did a little on-set welly wagging, and the former provided to be quite good at it.
Wow!
In fact, a year later, they were still talking about it. However, when Shepherd asked Willoughby if she'd played the game since, she flubbed the line in the best way imaginable.
Since that day, a year ago today, have you ever hit anything that you've been throwing at?
Funnily enough, I've never willy wagged since then.
Shepherd literally couldn't contain himself, flailing all over the set in a fit of laughter. In Willoughby's defense, welly wagging is a bit of a tongue twister.
I, however, haven't stopped.
Number 5, the post-NCAA Win episode, This Morning. Following a win at the 2016 National Television Awards for Best Live Magazine Show, This Morning hosts Holly Willoughby and Phil Schofield showed up to the set still dressed in their outfits from the previous night.
So obviously you might have noticed we're still wearing the same clothes. I haven't been home yet.
Clearly the celebration lasted all night, as both appear completely exhausted and perhaps a little hungover. Willoughby in particular looks quite worse for wear, covered in mustard and piccalilli stains from a game of pie face that apparently got a little out of hand.
It's gonna happen, go one. Ready? I love my life. Here I go one.
Thankfully, they got the whole thing on film, with both hosts still very much in recovery mode from the previous night's escapades. This is one of their more awkward on-air moments.
Thank you so much for making this happen. It really does mean the absolute world. And we celebrated on behalf of each and everyone.
Number 4, when she said, "Just stay and do me," this morning. And here you were thinking we'd exhausted all of our examples of Holly Willoughby putting her foot in her mouth.
But I
What
don't
were you
think
up
it
to?
is.
If you're sitting down would make a difference.
When deductionist Colin Cloud visited This Morning in 2015, he dazzled Schofield and Willoughby with his Sherlock Holmes-like skills. After successfully deducing something about Schofield that he hadn't told anyone about, Willoughby was flabbergasted. She was so impressed, in fact, that she asked Cloud to stick around a little longer. Well, she didn't exactly say it like that.
But can you just stay and do me?
That sounds like an offer I'm not going to get again, so absolutely.
After passionately requesting that Cloud please stay and do me, Willoughby was understandably embarrassed.
So stay and you can do Holly later.
Okay.
Number 3, when she got slimed. Holly and Stephen's Saturday Showdown. Back in the noughties, when Holly Willoughby presented the children's show Ministry of Mayhem, aka Holly and Stephen's Saturday Showdown, one of their gags involved something called the thank you desk.
Yes, I would like to thank Bonnie Rose and Oliver and James Flo and Chris Frankie who played double trouble for the Weasley family.
Basically, whoever sits behind the thank you desk thanks a list of people while getting pelted with buckets of mysterious slimy liquids. It doesn't look like a very pleasant thing to sit through, as evidenced by the look on Willoughby's face.
I would also like to say thank you to Ray for Ray's Ray.
In fact, the whole thing feels almost cruel, and by the end, Holly is well and truly soaked, with slime in her eyes, mouth, and just all over, really. Number 2, when she was sucked in by an April Fool's makeover. This morning. Live TV can be tense at times, but this pitch-perfect prank put Holly in all kinds of awkwardness. With Phil playing lead prankster, she's led to believe that a studio guest is left genuinely distraught by an absolutely awful makeover.
Can we stop filming?
Oh, darling.
Holly tries to soothe the guest as she bursts into tears, putting on a smile for the cameras while desperately panicking on the inside. And to finish, Holly then watches on as the lady crashes her car while exiting the studio.
We got a riverproof.
Oh my God.
No.
By the time of the big reveal, it's no wonder she very nearly swore.
Oh my God, I can't say it. I really want to. Oh my God, that was awful.
Number 1, when she didn't realise she was live. This morning. It doesn't get much cringier than this. One of the worst things a TV personality can do is to not realise that the cameras are rolling. Even worse is not realising they're rolling and doing something silly, like, say, recording your co-host with your phone. This happened to Holly Willoughby a few years back, during a conversation with astronaut Tim Peake, while he was aboard the International Space Station, no less.
I've gone back to get a better shot of Phil. The director in my ear is going, Holly, we're on. At which point I think, oh
put the
gosh,
phone
style
down.
it out.
Watching Willoughby slowly realise what's happening is super awkward, topped only by the look on Peake's face as he floats around in space. Thankfully, we got to catch a glimpse of the footage Willoughby was shooting. Great stuff, Holes.
I did the whole interview with my phone under my bottom.
Do you agree with our picks? Check out these other great clips from WatchMojo, and be sure to subscribe and ring the bell to be notified about our latest videos.